Hi. I guess they haven't fixed it yet. It keeps popping out. Hey guys, it's midnight in Chiang Mai, Thailand now. Let's see if anyone is here. Hello. Hey Peter. How's it going, Peter? Hey Lena. Wei Wei. Wei Wei. That's hello when you pick up the phone if you speak Cantonese. Lei hao ma? Oh boy. What's up, Craig? Um, Everyone's still watching at Periscope. I don't blame you. But please just follow me on Twitter and YouTube, if you, especially YouTube, if not Haps, because you get it. Hey, Oliver. Anyway, so this new app, Clubhouse, right? Audio base. It's like rooms with conversations of different kind. I talked about it a couple of days before when I just downloaded the app. Hey, JL, what's up? And Gao Chong. Better servers. Yeah, most likely. And tonight, just when I was about to take my kid to bed, I decided to turn on the app, and I found this very interesting room with the topic, why everything you know about China is not enough. And the host is this lady called Kim Wong, and amazing profile. Chairman of Joint U.S.-China Collaboration on Clean Energy. Professor, I think he's like MIT or whatever, and she's chairing the conversation, right, on the topic of China, and I was like, oh, okay, that's my topic. I want to listen to it, and I just got off from the whole room, and I spent more than 2 hours in it, listening and actually speaking a little bit. Periscope would be like the Titanic going down and standing on last place before underwater. Right. So I still don't have extra invites, but the first impression was, I don't know what to think about this, but it's interesting because the format is audio. You don't get to see people's face like here. A lot of people are listening to a specific topic, but I picked up a couple, peculiar facts about the app. Hey, Heavenly Dew. First of all, when people speak, they're really sophisticated. Like, they're not the person next to your house that does like a whatever job, right? They're very knowledgeable. They're probably expert in their field. And when they talk, they really know how to talk. So that was a little bit intimidating for me. Hey, Benito. Hope all's well. I'm still in government jail. Need opportunity, but everything is a fake game. Huh? What? Gao Zhong. Oh. You make it sound like Gao Chou, which is a different thing. Like Gao Chou is like, what? You know? Gao Zhong. Okay, I get it now. So yeah, this room that talks about China, and so there's a group of ladies, and I don't know why it's predominantly ladies, sharing their experience, mostly American expats living in Shanghai, which is, a very prosperous city in China. And so they were talking about their experiences. A lot of the listeners were curious because they're trying to find a job, or they're considering to go into China and check it out and all that. These are the super intelligent Chinese people we don't encounter. Yes. Well, I mean, these are American Chinese, right? So they're not Chinese. I'm actually one of the very few Chinese in the room. There's another person, but I think, no, she's still American Chinese, right? So fluent in English, educated in, grow up and educated in US or in UK, And so and then there's a few listeners who also have experience in China, but interestingly, they're mostly black and they're mostly from Africa. So I was like, that's a good bunch. Like that's a very interesting group of people having this conversation, you know, women and many blacks about China, right? So their take is, I mean, because it's like an intro, right? Their audience is Americans or people who speak English living in the West, right? So I don't think they can go really too deep into like specific topics or anything. But when they talk about, let's say, you know, where to find connections or how to behave, or what are the things that are very specifically that you need to know in China, like, you know, just the 101s, right? How to live in China 101, you know, that was like a conversation about it. And women are very intelligent. Yes, Betty. And I totally agree. Don't have much to add to it. Uh, so yeah, there was a room. It wasn't too huge. It was around 100 people in it, and people were taking turns to speak up because you can have the function of speaking up, and and I just decided to give it a try. So I spoke for maybe like a minute, and I realized I was not good at it. I was not good at it because there's supposed to be a format to stand out from the rooms. Like if it's your chance to speak, you should take that as an opportunity. You should thought out what you want to say, structure it in a way that people can understand, um, and and just say it because usually it's not like you get to take another chance really quickly. So you should just like come up with the entire uh, thesis of what you want to say. Uh, Practicing to answer your wifey. No, no. But anyway. So so the first time I started to speak, I was like, what? The only thing I can talk about China is the food, and I tell people to try dim sum. I sound so lame. Like these people are talking about geopolitics, uh, the Skynet of China, you know, discriminations, these huge topics, right? And I talked about dim sum. Anyway, so I was like, and then my son was, you know, trying to make a fuss. I have to put him to sleep, so I was like, okay, no problem. And the good thing about the app is I don't have to be in front of the camera, so I just put my earpiece, my headphone on, and thanks for the super clap. I put on my headpiece while I'm in the bedroom, lights out, and Lena's like, I know. It's okay. It's okay. So I listened to the conversation while I was putting my son in bed, and so I had a little bit more time to digest. There's an audience for everything. There is an audience for everything. I had a little bit more time to digest. I noticed the key, you know, speakers, also the moderator of the room. So there's a few people who are more experienced, they're more knowledgeable, they're more, you know, like good at talking about China, I suppose. And then there's a group of people who are curious, but they have a little bit of experience, so they want to ask questions and they want to chime in and all that. And I decided to give it a try after I put Micah to bed. And this is like an hour in. And so I did it again. And I gave some points about a lot of people's concern, which is safety and whether they're going to get discriminated if they're black, right? Because I don't know why there's so many black people in Clubhouse. Nothing against them, but it's just out of proportion, like most of them are black in this room, and we happen to be talking about a topic about China. And I think these people are more from Africa than more from United States. Hey, London, how's it going? Hey, Palma. Where's Palma? Hey, Maria. Golden Squirrel Award. Damn, I get a golden squirrel. Thank you. What's a golden squirrel, by the way? Is there significance of the animal? I don't know. I'm just curious. Anyway, so yeah, I gave my own interpretation about what discrimination means in China. Like, they don't need to be afraid because they're not going to be pulled out by a cop. They're not going to get pulled over by a cop and point a gun at them, you know, because it's very much, I think, American, right? They I mean, it gets. Oprah's there. Is she there right now? That room must be filled by now, no? Hey, Chad. Dr. D, we're talking about black people. Great time to be here. So because I see people here, Dr. D, so I'm talking about this new app called Clubhouse, and it's filled with black people. Fascinating. And I was in a conversation about China, and again, predominantly black people. I'm just curious why. But anyway, so yeah, a lot of people were concerned about safety, and it got me thinking. Damn, like Oprah, right? She started Clubhouse. Oh, is that the reason why there's so many black people in the Clubhouse? Sorry, there's a latency here, so yeah. Anyway, so I can't help thinking what it feels like to be a black person living in America. Like, you have to go through a lot of shit to feel so much, to be so worried about going into a foreign country. And the first question you always ask is how they treat black people. Is it safe there as a black person? You know, they talk about how diverse it is in Clubhouse, but they won't accept me. Well, how diverse are you, chick? Hey, London, how's it going? So I can't help but wonder. She's just in Clubhouse. She didn't start it. Oh, okay. Someone said she started or something. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. But I think I remember reading an article saying Oprah, or someone important was in chat Clubhouse. So true that. Right. So I mean, I talked to Dr. D. I talked to Mike, tends to travel. And so I don't have a lot of black friends, but I do have a couple, and I do ask them about these things. I'm white, period. Oh, okay. So you don't think you got accepted because you're white? Currently, Clubhouse is by invitation only. I wish I can give you guys invitation, but I don't have any right now. I'm supposed to get more as I use more of the app. But yeah, I have only one, and I gave it to the person who introduced me to the app. I think it will open up soon because it's still in beta right now. And yeah, so my first deep dive in the app, it's been 3 weeks. Well, did you sync up your contact list to the app? Because what happened to me, chicken do, is I synced my contact list to the app. I immediately see common friends, well, people that I have in my contact list that is in the Clubhouse, and they can invite me into it. So that's how I got into it. After about 3 days downloading the app. In some parts of the US, black citizens are really treated unfairly by the majority. Right. But I can't experience it. I can't understand it because I'm not black, right? But it becomes so obvious, you know? And I remember when I'm doing scopes in Hong Kong, and people can't tell the difference between Hong Kong and China anyway. A lot of people do ask me about safety, and when I notice these people's profile, they tend to be black. I hear you. I don't see that option. Oh, it's when you first download the app. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, DM me on Twitter if I get an invite. Maybe I can send it to you. Like I don't know. Like I don't know how many I can get, but yeah. So what was I talking about? Yes. So hey, Peter, how's it going? Talking about Clubhouse because I was just in it, and so I feel really bad because I have black friends, and you know the fear, you know, is like it's inherited because of history, because of the treatment, because of your experience, you know, or how the society perceives the community of blacks. Now, to be honest, I'm never too into racial topics because I don't care about it much. I'm just being honest here. I don't care about it much. And so Clubhouse somehow has a lot of black users, and they're forming their own thing, and they're talking and all that. And I just happened to pick up this room that talked about China, and I see, you know, this group of people, and yeah, that's what I got out from it, you know. But it's a very different app. I don't know if I want to stretch myself to build a community on Clubhouse, but and this is personal, right? Because I have 2 kids, I have a business, I have my live stream stuff, and I have other commitments. Like I have so many commitments. I don't think I should take in another one, but I can see the potential of building a very unique type of community using the platform with the audio function, with the audio chat function. My 2 best friends are black. One is a police officer, and one of them is from Trinidad, and I'm white. Right. But I'll be serious now. It's okay, Peter. What was I talking about? Damn it. Lost my train of thought. Right. Building a community in apps. So, yeah. Lots of opportunity, but I think in order to build your community at this moment, you have to have a very unique viewpoint of a specific topic. I think you should be very knowledgeable about it, and also you have to be very good at explaining yourself about the topic if you want people to follow you. I think it's a very elitism game at this moment, right? Because I mean, I see casual chat groups and people are just chit-chatting, you know, yapping random stuff and all that. I'm not interested in that, right? But most of the time when I jump into rooms that I have topics that I'm interested in, the moderators and the main speakers or the conversation is very sophisticated. It's definitely not like I go into a bar and I sit down and I talk to a guy and, you know, that kind of situation, or I go to a social event and it's higher level. It's higher level, you know? Are you able to build a specific community base on specific topics only? Yes, but it's in Cantonese and it's on Facebook. And so it's a page called Married to Chiang Mai. I do a live stream every Sunday, and I talk about life in Chiang Mai. And the reason why I did that 3 years ago was because I realized this is a great place in Chiang Mai, Thailand, which is where I live, to retire. And so there's not that much information, especially in Chinese, about life in Chiang Mai specifically. This is northern part of China, Thailand, right? There's a lot of information about Bangkok, the capital, Phuket. That's like a wild place. But retirement in Chiang Mai in Chinese, right? And I do Cantonese, so I go super specific on the topic and on the target audience. So I have about 5,000 page fans, but that's just a number thing. That doesn't mean anything these days. What I like is the engagement, because every Sunday when I do a live stream, I pick a topic and I talk about it. I would have recurring viewers, and the concurrent viewers would be over 100 in most days. In most days, and so I have to say, I have 26 subscribers on Periscope, or followers on Periscope, but I really don't know, like, how many do I have in terms of regulars that would come in to watch my scope. Granted that the format is different, the regularity is different, the topic is different, and my performance might be different because I speak English here. But if I want to measure them in terms of engagement level or how I can monetize, because, you know, I'm Chinese, I think Married to Chiang Mai, the Facebook group that I created, was a better investment of my time. You know what I mean? These days, Black Lives Matter activists are saying that it's not enough anymore to say you're not racist. Don't get involved in discussions of race. Non-Black people have to actively speak out against racism when they see it. I get what you're saying, Chad, but because they're activists, that's what activists do, right? If I'm anti-abortion activist, of course I'm going to get you to agree with me. That's their job. That's the definition of an activist. If I'm religious, I'm going to preach to you about my religion and get you to be in my religion, right? So, yeah, I mean, can you blame them? But not all Black people are in the Black Lives Matter group, right? So not all Blacks are Black Lives Matters activists. So what's the point? I am a pancreatic cancer survivor, wasn't expected to live, would be my topic specifically. I think that would be interesting because a lot of people like to hear those experiences, and I'm sure, I haven't seen a group yet, but if you do get a chance to be invited, eventually they will open up for everyone anyway. And if you want to create a room that talks about your experience, I would be interested to listen to it. I haven't Bangkoked in a while. It's over a year. Damn it. I'm sorry. Can you monetize on Clubhouse? Just curious. No, they don't have a monetization function, and I don't think it's their purpose to incentivize rooms or the model to be monetizable. But I think it's a very great, it's a good place to voice your thoughts if you're good at verbal communication. And if you don't like to look at the camera, you also have the benefit of avoiding that. But let's say if you're good enough to deliver your message and you want to get people to join maybe your platforms outside, Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, maybe join their letter, like what do you call them, email list, or even maybe they'll promote their service or products, right? That's a good place to do it, I think, because you have a lot of ears, and right now it's not too overcrowded yet, so the rooms are like mostly good quality. It's mostly good quality of conversations that I'm experiencing right now. It's not enough not to stay silent on racism. Well, they can't force you, can they? Right? If you don't want to say anything about it, you just don't. Like, I tell people I don't care about race issues. That's it. But the sympathetic majority of non-Black people saying I don't see a race is not allowing changes to happen. Okay, I didn't intend to pick up on the topic of race. Jesus, I just opened a can of worms here. Dr. D, are you here? Help me out. It was just a moment of like insight that I had because of the experience in Clubhouse. And now you guys are going at me and how the activists are and all that. Can you give me a break, please? um, anyway, so yeah, I'm interested to see how the platform grows from here onwards. Hey, Bella. And I'm curious to know whether it's going to be the next big thing, because I don't have a FOMO in terms of building another community in a different platform and be an influencer and have a high profile and make a lot of money from it. I think I'm kind of past that phase of trying to be viral, you know? Baby 2.0 is better than Baby 1.0, simply because the fact that I've had experience and it's a girl, so, you know, I'm biased. I'm just sharing my experience. Yeah. Hey, Alex, I'm not persecuting you on this, just saying things have changed since Black Lives Matter. Yeah, but again, it's okay, you know. I won't comment. Get rid of the scrolling text. Get rid of the scrolling, yeah, scrolling text. Okay. Chad, I'm in Black Run Town. I buy from Black business. That's how I speak. You speak Black? That's awesome, Betty. Clubhouse definitely has pulled in a lot of people. Yeah, because it's different. It's different. It's not another app that shows clips. You know, the medium is audio, so it's kind of like podcast, but it's not pre-recorded. It's live, and I love live. Right? That's why I was interested in it. Because it's live, and whatever you say, it's not recorded by the system, and so I don't have to worry about, oh, you know, people using that to do whatever afterwards. Oh, I just crashed a bug and it splashed like orange juice on my table. That is gross. Sorry, excuse me. And I can also be a passive listener. Like I like to watch Periscope, for me, is not as interesting as listening to a conversation in Clubhouse. And I think it's because of the people. I got invite. I don't have invite. Yeah, I'm trying to get more invites, so I'm trying to actively do things in the app, and that's what they say in order to get more invites. So if anyone wants an invite, you can DM me on Twitter, and if I do have extras, I'll just invite you guys in. Can we do that? You will have to give me your phone number though. You know that people love to hear themselves speak, so by making it just audio focused. Right. Now, the interesting thing about audio, and I just realized this, is I'm actually an audio or auditory learner. What's the right word that I should use? I'm an audio learner or I'm an auditory learner. Either way, you get my point, right? So I was talking about Audible, this app that, you know, has audiobooks that I listen to, and I've been using it for the past 4 or 5 months, and I've listened to over like 9. I think I'm on my 10th book, and I swear, like, if I were to read these books, I won't even finish half by now because I just don't have time reading, and I fall asleep or I lose my concentration when I'm following words, right? It's not that I'm dyslexic or anything. It's harder for me, you know, because it's English, I guess. No, but I'm also not easily focused when the text is Chinese anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, like I can listen to audiobooks when I'm driving, and that's great because I drive. I drive about an hour a day these days because I live out of town. And when I'm driving, it keeps me attentive, and I also stay awake because I tend to be very tired and fall asleep. You heard, be careful who you invite because if they get in trouble, you will get in trouble too. Well, I trust you guys. They know that people, I trust you guys. So if you send me a DM, then I'm assuming you're not trying to screw me over, right? You heard the Lion King practice was on Clubhouse last week. No, but I did hear someone narrating a book for free, I guess. The Art of War. Audio Taurus? Audio Taurus? Is that a word? Should be surprised to anyone who might enjoy the nation to intro of any Black people, especially those who are your fellow nations. Well, we're still in that topic, huh? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, like the medium of audio is something I can kind of multitask, or when I can't look at something, I can still engage with it by listening. And I like it. So I like listening to Audible, audiobooks. That's the app for it, if you don't know about it. I love listening to podcasts, specifically Joe Rogan, because there's so much interesting guests he invites to talk about. And now I have another app that I can listen to if I'm not actively promoting myself or wanting to speak out on a topic, you know. So yeah, I have books on tape. They're faster than reading. I love it. They're definitely faster than reading for me, although I know some people can read pretty fast, right? So anyway, that's Clubhouse to you. So it's interesting with technology and these new platforms, and also apps. You know, I prefer to listen to books than read them too. Then one can get into something else in the meantime. Exactly, right? So apparently, I don't know where the research is from. I'm just copying from someone else, but 30% of the population are better at audio learning than visual. So I think I'm on that. I'm in that 30% group. The lag time is too long on Periscope. I know, Peter, but the problem is I can't monetize on Periscope. And if I were to open the app, it's actually very annoying these days because there's always that banner that says they're closing down, and I can't swipe it away. It takes at least 30 seconds, and I have to like just tap crazily and go out and come back in again. It still stays there for at least 30 seconds to a minute. So it kind of frustrates me to use the app by now. I think they purposely do that just to annoy you so you don't use the app anymore. I don't know. I don't know why they do that, but it's annoying. And maybe it's a bug on my phone. But if you're watching this on Periscope and you want to look at watch more of my scopes, there's Twitter that you can follow, John M. Ho. There's YouTube that you can follow, John M. Ho. And then there's Haps. And Haps is the platform that I'm using to multicast because I can do this and stream on different platforms. Yes, thank you, Peter. And the Mark Goldman, the CEO, mentioned the latency issue can be improved on by next week. So let's see. Press going to Twitter, it should go away. I tried, Betty. It takes me to Twitter. Oh no, that button doesn't work on my phone for some strange reason. Yeah. But yeah, like what I'm curious is after Periscope is definitely dead, how many people will get notifications from my Twitter? I mean, first of all, how many people will follow me on Twitter? And how many people will get notifications on Twitter and still watch me on Twitter or YouTube or Haps, right? Am I going to lose a big chunk of people because they don't care and they don't want to bother following because they can do something better with their lives, you know? So I'm curious what are my stats going to be? Because I'm still kind of favored by the algorithm of Periscope. So whenever I use hashtag travel or with the country, I get a little bit more followers than other people, viewers than other people. And that's why I'm using the app still. I just followed on Twitter. Thank you. Thank you, Chicken-do. I do remember there was virtually no latency in the comments on Periscope back in the first year. No, you still don't have latency if I stream directly on the Periscope platform. But then it's closing down. So I want to get people to move away from it. And this is the sacrifice. This is the trade-off, right? I can do on multiple platforms, but latency is an issue. But people in HAPS have been very engaging, and they say they're working on it. So let's give them a little bit more time and see what's going to look like. Yeah? Yeah? I've been following you on both, and months ago, I've never got notification from Periscope, Horoscope. I was getting the notifications from Twitter that you were on. Okay, cool. Right, so, I mean, I try to remember the people that engage with me on the live streams. And from time to time, there's these like people that I haven't seen for a long time, and they just come back in and they comment, and that's, I feel great about it. And I really hope I can still keep in touch with all the people that have watched my scopes throughout the past 5 years. But I also know a lot of people will not come back. They might not even use Twitter, because I wasn't a Twitter user before Periscope. Okay, later, Betty. And so in the next like 80 something days, I'm trying to remind people, and I'm trying to grab as many people as I can to move to Twitter, YouTube, or HAPS. The benefit for HAPS as a broadcaster is they have a monetization system here that you can tip, and I get a little bit of coffee money, I call it, right? So today I am almost making $3. Yay! Thank you, Maria. Thank you, JL and Chad. So it's incentive. Like 10 cents is nothing for most people. But if everyone were to give me 10 cents in a broadcast, and if I can make money to buy coffee myself, that's incentive, right? I don't intend to get rich doing these broadcasts, but you know, sometimes financial incentives are good ones. And if you don't have money, it's all good, because I'm always going to do this for free. I still have Patreon account for people who want to support on a regular basis. I'm making maybe like $20 or $50 in total per month. Hey, Mary. But, you know, we spend time as broadcasters. See ya, Benito. And we spend our time that we can spend on other places to talk about topics, to walk on the streets, to interview people, to show you our life, right? And I think that's effort. I think that's effort that has value, right? That has value. In fact, I'm going to do just one scope about monetization, because I used to do that in Periscope, and I haven't been doing those conversations much. And I feel like I should remind people that I want to say remind, I should encourage people that this thing we're doing is, is value and should be rewarded. And yeah, I mean, I go to other people's scope, and if I like what they're doing, I will tip them, right? Yeah. Think about it. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's getting late. I just want to talk about the experience of Clubhouse, because it's a trending thing. Some people know about it, especially if you're from tech. Fascinating thing. Don't worry, Mary. I'm also leaving as well. But let's stay connected, right? And let's see how long I can scope until even after Periscope finishes. Yeah. Okay. Guys, take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye.